With more and more dating apps popping up, one new app aiming to bring human connection to online dating and that experience. Ben Leonard is the co-founder of Paired. He joins us now with more on this. Good to see you, Ben.
Thank you very much for having me, Greg.
All right, so explain. I've been married for 20 years. My wife and I were dating for ages. I don't know anything about how online dating or online dating apps work. I think of them, I think of algorithms, I think of people maybe posting photos that aren't exactly truthful. You want to humanize it. What does that mean?
Well, basically, the app was designed to take on what we feel is dissatisfaction in the space. We feel that human beings have started treating each other poorly, and that there's a level of indecency that has taken place because of the way that our brains are interacting with these platforms. We have decided to really focus on the human element and try and bring back an experience that is more of a representative of what would be in a human face-to-face context.
Right, because the one that I am familiar with is the sweep right or the sweep left. I'm not sure which one means yes or which one means no. But I know that from talking with people who are involved with that app and other things, they felt dissatisfied. That it was just like a sort of the old parlance of when I was young in the 90s, the meat market. That's not very polite, but that's how people sort of like summed it all up.
The fact that, that there's even an association, in my opinion, of a meat market, so to speak, with these apps is why we are committed to fixing what we feel is broken. We feel that these apps have actually taken a three-dimensional being like you or I and have almost converted them into a two-dimensional display on a phone. That's where we feel some of the objectification has taken place. That's where we feel that there's room to improve the way that humans begin to re-engage with these platforms and get a better experience and ultimately better dates.
So someone who's intrigued now by what you're saying and dissatisfied with the other ones, what would they actually see on your app if they put it on their phone and started to use it?
Well, very similar to what is out there right now. We have features that we do feel are working great. We've made minor adjustments with how information is being delivered. We've made our focus very much after the initial match or pairing takes place. Our experience offers many layers of where humans can get to know one another through deeper layers of content, more sharing about what their interests are, so that when they do actually get to that date, they can know a little bit more about one another.
So it's not all just about that perfect photo that was taken at just the right light, just the right angle, the chin jutting out. I might not look that way when I show up.
No, we want to make sure that by the time somebody gets to the date in that face-to-face experience, that they've had an opportunity to present themselves in a safe environment, in a place where they can feel that they can be themselves and be willing to share information about themselves that allows people to get a better understanding of who they are. We also think that it's going to be quite frequent that on a regular dating profile you might see the best 6 pictures somebody has ever taken. Our app allows, once an initial attraction takes place, people to share what they want and how they want to present themselves from a dating perspective.
Now, when it comes to growing a business like this, if you're successful, two people pair up and then they don't need the service anymore. Is that part? So the business plan, how do you, obviously you need to keep bringing people in. If you're highly successful and you pair off the ones who are already on the platform.
Our belief certainly is that if we're providing a service that we feel is answering some of this dissatisfaction, that people will continue to come on board. And I'm absolutely committed to, our team, is committed to actually getting people off of these apps quicker. We don't want to be the app that has people just coming back and coming back. We want to help them with a service that is going to, I guess, benefit them in finding a partner.
So what's the model here for revenue? How do you make money? What is it advertising based? Is it subscription based?
We believe that from a subscription standpoint, somebody that's willing to part ways with a few dollars a month will have, I guess, a bit of skin in the game. And we will eventually be shifting towards a subscription model out of the gates to establish our user base and make sure that our functionalities are I guess, delivering what we feel that they are delivering. We want to grow methodically and make sure that we're delivering on our promises, but at some point, by having that subscription model in place, we feel that people will be taking it more seriously and coming back and genuinely looking for a partner.
Now, we're at least 2 decades into this whole dating app kind of idea. As you've seen the industry evolve, what do you think are the best lessons taken from the mistakes of others? I mean, it's an advantageous position to be able to look back on 2 decades and say, I didn't like that, and that. Here's where we are.
Absolutely. Well, I think that one of the biggest things that's taken place is that there's a seemingly endless amount of options. There's always, if you're not satisfied with the relationship that you're in, you can instantly, through a couple of clicks on your phone, you have endless options. There's always a feeling of something, there's something more, there's something better. I think what we're going to try and do is get people to focus on who they have actually shown interest in and had a mutual interest shown to them. We want to get away from so much volume and get people focusing on one another more inside of our platform.
Years ago, my wife and I joked that we should sign up to one of those platforms and see if the algorithm would actually join us together, and then we realized that was too fraught and too dangerous. It's best just to leave that alone.
Leave it alone. Fair enough.
All right, Ben, pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for having us, Greg.
It's Ben Leonard. He's the co-founder of Paired. Up next, Ottawa boosting its support for canola farmers amid trade tensions with China. We're going to get a farmer's take on how this extra money might help.